I'm going to go to the phone calls. There's a lot going on today. It's about DACA, and it's about Ronnie Jackson and what's going to be happening. By the way, Macron addresses Congress today, and Kevin Jackson coming up. And you know, one of them is Kevin. Love Kevin Jackson. But, I say this with the caveat of, I get it, but when you you have a religion, you have a faith, and then you practice that faith in the United States of America. And within that faith, there is no credo that says everybody's got to be like us, or if you're not like us, we will kill you. We will start an assault. We will start this procedure, this mantra where you will die if you are not like us. That has been what we've been fighting for it seems like forever in the United States of America. So when you come here and then you believe in a religion and you are practicing in that religion, as severe as you may be within that religion, and you go to your religious institution and you become part of the American fabric, part of the mosaic, the ethnic fabric of the United States of America, it does nothing but keep the country strong and make the country better. So if you're really religious in a certain school, is that dangerous because you're not teaching the way the rest of us think? And if that school happens to be a Jewish school, in my mind, and forgive me, and I'm very sensitive to this, it's anti-Semitic. There's an anti-Semitic rise in this country like I've never seen in studying history. I wasn't alive in 1936. I know I seem like I've been around that long, but this is very, very similar to pre-war Germany in my mind. And I don't know how. Even the liberal Democrats, they're anti-Semitic now. I don't care what you say. They're anti-Semitic. And it's the liberal Democrats. And they're my buddies. And I say to and they're Jewish. I say to my Jewish friends, do you understand how everybody's anti-Israel? Why is there this anti-Semitic rise? Well, I'm going to vote for Hillary. Well, I vote for Barack Obama. But do you understand where they stand in regards to Israel? So I have a weakness, and it's fair enough. You're going to criticize me. I don't know if it's dangerous, like one guy just said, oh, your thoughts are dangerous. No, my thoughts are just very sensitive to the Jewish community, very sensitive, as I am with my Christian and Catholic faith. I'm so sick of the Catholics getting bashed. I identify with my Jewish brothers and sisters because all they wanted is the religious persecution with Christians. They're wiping Christians all out of Europe. That's what they want. Not to mention what the Jews had to go through. Mom, you can't make this up. You have to remember the assault. And all we want to do as Christians and as Jews is make America better. And if we want to live within our community, is that such a bad thing? So, and are you allowed to use state money now? And that would be discrepancy there. Do you use state money to help out the religious schools? So let me open the phones up because this is a very touchy issue. And then we'll go to Kevin Jackson coming up. Debbie's standing by. But really, we love you no matter what you believe in. We love you. As long as you don't try to kill us. Am I right? I mean, really, I try to make jokes, but it's true. As long as you don't try to kill us. As long as your religion doesn't say death to America, then you got me on your side. Let me go to Peter in Rockland County. Peter, good morning. And you're a big shot, I understand, Peter. Give us your title, please, if you would, sir.
Hi, how are you? Good morning, Joe. My name is Pete Bradley. I'm on the Clarkstown Town Council up in Rockland County. My full-time gig, I do have a career job outside of that, which is my full-time gig. Newly elected, and I'm actually the first member of the Reform Party to hold public office in New York State, so I'm very proud of that as well.
Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you so much. I just heard your preamble here. I'm just catching this because someone texted me while I was driving,
yes, sir.
About 20 minutes ago. So I'm getting in late on the conversation here. But I just heard your preamble about the whole yeshiva education.
Yeah.
And you had some well-spoken callers. The last two were very well-spoken before you broke for commercial break, articulating how they have, were products of a great education. And I want to make clear, this is not all yeshivas. This is no broad brush stroke over all yeshivas. Mm-hmm. Up here in Rockland, though, we do have a scandal brewing in Rockland County, and you have to differentiate between the sects of Judaism. You have the Orthodox, which your last two callers identified themselves as. And by the way, my uncle's doctor is Orthodox too, great guy, and I trust his medical opinion with his life because I'm his caretaker. Mm-hmm. And then you have the Hasidic and the ultra-Orthodox. Mm-hmm. That really is where the major crisis is with yeshiva education. Up here in Rockland, we are having trailers being built, private homes being occupied, and with schools that, in my opinion, are illegal because of the curriculum they're teaching, and then you have the whole other argument about fire safety and not owning up to building codes and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But the curriculum,
I got you.
Go ahead, Joe. Joe, you there?
No, is it now? I got you. These schools that you're talking about, do they get public money? Are they under the aegis of quote unquote public schools, public private charter schools, or are they just completely private schools? The ones you're talking about, Peter?
They're completely private, except they're in the town of Ramapo, which adjoins my town of Clarkstown. And the school board, the public school board, is now controlled by members of the Hasidic and ultra-Orthodox faith. So they actually steer. They're in control of the over $200 million school budget, and a lot of the money gets sent into these private yeshivas. That's where the biggest rub is. But regardless, there was up until a couple of weeks ago state law mandating that every child must receive their core curriculum subjects of math, English, social studies, science, civics, and all of that stuff. And it's gone completely by the wayside. And there is a severe effect on the surrounding taxpayers that have to finance this, because the end result is you don't become employable by learning Torah for 10 hours a day. You need to have these tools to get out into the workforce and earn a living. And, the empirical data is completely on my side with this. Up here, we have a hamlet called Muncie, which is heavily ultra-Orthodox and Hasidic. 76% of that hamlet are on Medicaid. And we're funding that. And we are, in Rockland County, the smallest county, both in geographical size and population. And it's a pyramid scheme that's going to explode.
Yeah.
And it's happening in Orange County as well. You heard a couple of callers from Lakewood.
Yeah.
This is something that really has to be addressed, and it's not anti-Semitic. This is about making sure all children have a fighting chance to get a good job and, do good things for society when they grow up. Right. And right now, we're heading down a very dangerous path by allowing this to continue.
All right. Peter, fair enough. And well spoken, Peter. Thank you so much. Let me go to Judy in Brooklyn. Judy, what are you thinking about all this?
Okay, so I'm not a politician.
Go ahead, Judy. I got you there.
Okay. Not a politician, and I appreciate what Peter has to say, but I'm sure there are people going to challenge what he has to say, because I really don't think it's exactly the way he says it. I'm almost positive of that. But I'm calling because, first of all, Joe, I want to tell you, you are such a gentleman.
Yes.
You are a pleasure to listen to, and you are so smooth, so calming, and so soothing. There's something about you, the way you speak, and your whole mannerism on the over the air is fabulous. I love it.
Oh, God bless you, Judy. I'm trying, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You don't have to try.
Go ahead.
You're great. So all right. So getting back to this is what I want to call about. So I listened to the whole conversation, and I just want to point something out. My husband, he wasn't born here. He was actually born in Israel. He came here at the age of 8, couldn't speak a word of English. He worked very hard, and he went to yeshiva all of his life. He worked very hard. Not only did he master the English language somehow, but he went on to become a lawyer. And he tells me that the fact that he was learning Torah and Gemara in yeshiva, that creates the brain to work really, really hard to analyze everything. And that helped him in his analysis in law school, by the way. He went on to he was on law review, and he was 3rd in his class. And right now he is quite a big lawyer. And he went to yeshiva, and he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay? And I have to tell you, Joe, I have to tell you something else. The brain is a muscle, and it depends how you fill it and how you use it. But I have to tell you, yes, these boys are sheltered, but quite frankly, they fill their brains with positivity, not stupidity.
Yep. Yeah, well said, Judy. Thank you for your kind words. And very, very, I see with the way Judy just laid that out is where my heart lies. I honestly believe that. Let me go to Yehuda in Rockland County. Yehuda, what are you thinking this morning, my friend?
Good morning, Joe. I wanted to ask about the individuals in Clarkstown. Suppose the yeshivas were to close and 150,000 Orthodox Jewish students showed up at the public schools. Can they handle that? Something tells me they can't. Number one. That's my first point.
Yeah.
Number two, I pay my kids go to private school, and I pay private tuition, and the private tuition covers the general curriculum of the afternoon. They happen to have general studies in my son's school, and I'm paying my life for that. So he wants to go ahead and bash those who are. Most of these schools are funded by the communities. They ask for security grants. I mean, most of them are citizens of America, and they're entitled to be safe. So the grants are for the safety. That's what they're asking for. Yeah. Otherwise, the rest of it is subsidized by the community and by the parents.
Yehuda, thank you. Understood. Let me go to Rosemary in Long Island. Good morning, Rosemary. What's on your mind this morning?
Good morning, Joe. I just wanted to read you something that James Madison said. It's very short. It says he said this in 1778 when he was speaking to the General Assembly of the state of Virginia. And this is a quote: "We have staked the whole future of American civilization not upon the power of government, far from it. We've staked the future of all our political institutions upon our capacity to sustain ourselves according to the Ten Commandments of God." So our founding fathers, were believers in God and in the Ten Commandments and doing the right thing.
Yeah, you're right. Rosemary, thank you. I appreciate that. So this is a great conversation. And we got so many. Let me go to Drew real quick in Oyster Bay, and then we got to move on. Drew, we got a couple seconds, but wanted to get you on the air, my friend. What are you thinking?
Well, good morning, Joe. How are you? I was just going to say is that, this sums up why we should all have the ability to use what are now our tax dollars as we choose for the education of our choice. I would say that we're in a changing world. It would seem that the education system that we have is somewhat unsustainable. Not everybody may agree with what's being taught to our children. You got companies like Amazon that are bringing costs way down for people. And half the reason people are leaving New York is because, the taxes. And I've yet to see a solution here on Long Island where they're talking about reducing the taxes or trying to lower the cost of education. So give me my money and let me spend it as I see fit. And I'm sure that would make these private schools flourish.
Yeah, you may be right. Drew, thank you very much. 919, appreciate your comments on that.